I have personally been, I mean, I've come this close to disavowing the entirety. And this is something that as a radical pragmatist, because I launched the Realign for Palestine, which is about radical pragmatism, a rejection of violence, multiple truths.
Bro, it's 1984. Like, just oxymoronic language that this man is employing to defend Israel. He's literally saying multiple truths. What the are you talking about?
This was a decision by Sinwar and Dave, two psychopaths underground, who not only didn't consult the rest of Gaza, they didn't even consult the rest of Hamas and the rest of Iran and the axis of resistance, Iran and Hezbollah, who had nebulous ideas about this happening. But basically, he went into like total operational security mode and decided to do this on his own. My point is that this was a very narrow, specific operation against Saudi-Israeli normalization. This was a military coup within Hamas. Hamas's popularity was down in the toilet in Gaza before October 7th. So this was an attempt to rejuvenate the armed resistance narrative and fraud, but on behalf of which Hamas siphoned so many resources of the Palestinian people. I'm not self-hating. I'm not self-flagellating. Like, I love my people. I'm proud of the people of Gaza. I think the people of Gaza, many of them, have incredible potential, incredible talent.
Why would he say that? What do you mean they have potential? Just say they're people and they should be treated with respect.
And by the way, yes, of course, Gaza also had some of the most polluted water and issues with that were the result of the blockade. But the blockade, people understand the blockade. The blockade was not this stagnant regime. It was a system that evolved since 2006, and it went through multiple phases.
You don't understand. The blockade on Gaza, that was a nuanced blockade. We have to have things not in black and white, but in a wide spectrum of colors.
At times when it was as harsh and horrendous and inhumane as calculating the number of calories by the IDF that the people of Gaza needed to survive. Oh, like at one point, John Kerry went into Gaza and he looked at the list of prohibited items, and it was like pasta and like Crayolas and stuff. And after a reassessment, especially after the 2014 war, there was a fundamental reassessment of the blockade regime where there was an effort by Kogat and by elements within the Israeli apparatus to try to let Gaza flourish from a business point of view, to try
not all Palestinians should be killed. The ones with potential should be let in.
With Netanyahu then using that as a way to keep the Palestinians divided and as political leverage. And that's where I think there needs to be accountability on the Israeli side for this 3D.
Careful. You're getting a little too close to the sun there, buddy.
There needs to be accountability on the Israeli side for this 3D chess that backfired horribly. But the point is that I actually would argue up to October 7th.
Okay, so Israel doing a complete blockade on Gaza is a 3D chess that they're doing. He's just admitting that the blockade is what caused October 7th to happen. The way that Israel treated Gaza as a concentration camp is what caused violent resistance to come out.
The blockade was at arguably its lowest point, whereby there were 20,000 people that were working in Israel, and that number was about to go to 50,000. My mom, I was regularly talking to her. My mom, when I came to the United States, I came here when I was 15, and none of my immediate or extended family came with me. I came by myself, and I was never able to go back in 2006 when Hamas abducted an Israeli soldier.
I wonder why. Because of Hamas, right?
Like physical connection to the land. Through my dad ran an UNRWA, the UN refugee clinic agency, rather, that ended up becoming controversial during this war. He ran their clinic.
It became controversial because it was helping Palestinians too much. I mean, Jesus Christ, he just can't bring any kind of criticism towards Israel.
Oh yeah, in northern Gaza. My brother ran their beach clinic. My oldest brother is in Gaza right now. He is the field director. One of the biggest medical NGOs there.
I honestly wonder what his family thinks about him. Like, I don't know if they're proud of him, man. He's not doing good.
Sorry, the dog. we have a room full of dogs that just got spooked by something. Go on. Sorry, apologies.
No worries. My point is October, like within the imbalance. This is what many commentators don't get.
Right. I'm speeding this up. This guy is a yapper. Yada yada. This part.
There is still, nevertheless, space within said imbalance for Palestinian agency and accountability and responsibility to optimize for better decision making, to optimize for better circumstances. so that you don't hand our people on a silver platter to the most far-right government in Israel's history, committing the worst single-day attack on the Jewish people since the Holocaust, on a government that has Smotrich, Ben-Gvir, and Netanyahu. And so that's where I speak with passion, and that to me is what's missing from the discourse.
So yeah, he's admitting that his only focus is on what the Palestinians have done badly, causing them to get. That's his only focus. That means he's a Zionist propaganda. He can go himself.
It's easy to go on endlessly attacking Israel to the moon and back. And you know what? If that suits you, that's for some people, that's their prerogative, though I feel like that's become kind of a trendy thing to do.
It's easy to attack Israel, but it's not profitable to attack Israel. That's what he's saying, dude. Like, holy, yeah, just spell it out for us, my man.
But if you actually genuinely want to help the Palestinian people, if you want to learn from our past mistakes, if you want our people to learn from the repeated failures of 77 years since 1948, then it's time to look inward. And again, that's not...
If you want our people to learn from our mistakes, it's time to look inward. Might be the soundbite of this. Holy...
blaming the victim. I actually think that's the first step to empowering the Palestinian people, instead of all of these...
Look, I know you got... I'm not blaming you. I'm trying to empower you by understanding what you did wrong, okay? Oh my God, like literally just the scum of the earth. And the fact that he hides behind a veneer of actually trying to get peace, it makes it even worse. Like, I'd rather have him just be like, yeah, I think Palestinians are just an inferior culture. I got out. But, you know, there are some Palestinians with potential. Like, the fact that he didn't even say Palestinians are good and we shouldn't kill them. But he's like, no, like, some can change.
To say, oh, y'all have no agency, no accountability. Y'all are angels. Whatever you do, you can't be blamed because it's all Israel's fault.
Mm-hmm. You know, there's seems to be a growing movement of people protesting Hamas at seemingly a great risk to their own personal safety. I know I read some of the protesters
literally not
executed and left like at his parents' house or something like that outside.
That was a guy who wasn't killed for protesting Hamas. He was killed because he was like detained by Hamas in the past. He just doesn't do any kind of reading, and he just lies to his audience to try to support his worldview that Hamas and the dirty Arabs are the ones to blame for this. I mean, he's just a racist piece of that can't not defend a ethno-state.
But there seems to be a growing protest, and simultaneously there seems to be people like Hassan Piker and people like him who are simultaneously kind of discrediting them or trying to change their motives. They like if he'll say like it's not that serious.
You know what it is, Ethan? It's not lying. It's not changing their motives. It's not rewriting history. It's reading an article about the protest movement. You didn't do that. You didn't do that. Like, holy, pull up an article and read it. You dumb. Like, it's triggering me so much.
They're there to protest Israel primarily. They don't actually hate Hamas, or they're there because of whatever. He thinks it's not a big deal. There's not a lot of people there. They're actually there to protest Israel primarily, and this is just propaganda.
It is.
Again, it's like
they are
these leftist liberals, or I mean these
leftist liberals,
Western leftists. I feel like they're clearly not helping. And I don't.
He's such a petty bitch, dude. He's so dumb. He's just like, Western leftists, they just suck. He has nothing. He can't do anything. He has nothing that he can actually say. So he just sits there and is like, I feel like they're not good.
I just don't understand, you know? And like the way that they're now defending this shooter in DC, or not maybe defending, but excusing. A lot of people are defending. A lot
of people are defending. So you say a claim, you know that claim isn't true. You back off on it. And then you're like, no, actually, it is true. Okay, pull up the evidence. If you want to say that they're doing this, pull up the evidence.
A lot of people are outright defending him.
Yeah. And so it's like, this is, then I see Netanyahu giving these insane speeches, or other government officials of Israel. And I'm like, I hate these people. And now these people are saying like the most heinous, insane. I never want to hear them.
Ethan, you agree with it. You say that from the river to the sea is an anti-Semitic phrase. Netanyahu says free Palestine is today's Hail Hitler. What's the difference between those two? You're in agreement with that. Don't pretend like you're not.
It's giving these people a platform in Israel who are the worst. And it's giving just more justification for...
The Western leftists are giving Netanyahu a platform. I actually can't believe he said that. I can't believe he said Western leftists are giving Netanyahu a platform. I guess we should all delete our channels and then Netanyahu would spontaneously combust, apparently.
These so-called activists online who are cheering on more violence. It's just, I don't understand the point, and it just doesn't seem complicated to me.
So I wanna say something just for the record. Like, I don't know Mr. Piker. I know of him through you explicitly. I am disappointed recently by the fact that he hosted a gentleman by the name of the Bad Empanada.
Oh, you know about him?
The Bad Empanada has incited so heavily against me. Some of the worst death threats that I have received.
People affiliated with Bad Empanada, I don't know what that means. They commented on his videos, like told you to kill yourself online, and then Bad Empanada never did anything bad to you. Hassan Piker never did anything bad to you, but because you had someone be mean to you online and they were affiliated with Bad Empanada, and then he went on a stream with Hassan, then you're going to criticize Hassan. Okay, love this.
And he did a whole hit piece on me, and for some reason he just dedicated so much of his energy to me, and I was like, dude, just let it go, let it be.
Bad Empanada makes a hit piece video on someone like twice a week, so you're not special.
There was a hit piece on me by basically a leftist rag that's like a Russian, Iranian, North Korean propaganda outlet that claimed Israel is paying me $30 million to promote genocide. And of course, Mr. Empanada.
I hope it's true, because otherwise you're not getting your money's worth.
Of respectability politics. And, again, and I'm speaking about this not in a personalized sense. I've had way worse guys than Mr. Empanada come out. I've had Al-Qaeda guys.
Bro, it's triggering me that he calls him Mr. Empanada. Why would you do that?
Straight up. And it's all here threatened to, which is weird because I'm single, I don't have kids, threatened to behead my children, behead my wife, and then me and behead me. And these are like people like Al-Qaeda, like high, like...
Subtly dropping that he's single without kids. It's like, ladies, you can reach out to me at my personal organization, single, no kids.
They're like big Al-Qaeda guys coming after me to the point where I've had to acquire the means to defend myself. So this is not a pity party. I'm simply saying that, having Mr. Hassan and the Bad Empanada, two non-Palestinians, sitting up there pontificating about, what is good for the Palestinians and genocide bad and resistance, like
he just yada again and this that.
Like how pompous can one get is that? But Mr. Piker, if he has any interest in actually engaging,
how pompous can one get by talking about it? And the best ways to end that's being pompous.
What is good for the Palestinians and this and that and resistance, how pompous can one get is that? But
the criticism against Hassan and people that advocate for like the end of the is just baseless. There's nothing. They have nothing to say.
If he has any interest in actually engaging in this and actually like engaging in a goodwill conversation,
I would love that. I would love to see him talk to you. I don't think he will because it's too disruptive, but it's too disruptive to his message.
To the narrative.
Yeah.
I have personally been, I've come this close to disavowing the entirety, and this is something that as a radical pragmatist, because I launched the Realign for Palestine, which is about radical pragmatism, a rejection of violence, multiple truths.
Bro, it's 1984, like just oxymoronic language that this man is employing to defend Israel. He's literally saying multiple truths. What the are you talking about?
I've come this close to disavowing the entirety of the pro-Palestine movement as basically being a complete fraud. And
the reason you haven't is because being a pro-Israel guy, but you say that you're a Democrat and that you're pro-Palestine, that is your grift. That's why you haven't.
And I know people in it who are following me, who are trying their best, and I know there are good people in the movement. This is just the only thing that's out there, and I'm trying really hard to be compassionate. And what really, the two things that have just made it so exceptionally difficult, never mind the attacks on me, calling me a Zionist, the constant threat.
Oh no, people call you a Zionist. That's so bad. Give me a break, dude.
College campuses when I speak and interrupt me. And
oh, people interrupt you?
They go and harass me on college campuses when I speak and interrupt me and scream free Palestine at me. Imagine screaming free Palestine at a Palestinian from Gaza who literally runs a program called Realign for Palestine, who has family that was killed in Gaza, who is literally deaf in his left ear because of a bombing by the
Well, maybe that's why they're screaming. You can't hear it.
Of yelling
the
back.
arrogance.
The arrogance.
Yeah.
So, sorry, I'm just...
no, I got, trust me, I totally get it.
Oh my god, Ethan looks evil here. Holy... Look at him, dude. Actually looks like a horror movie villain.
What happened with the pro-Palestine movement since the Anti-Hamas protests in Gaza has exposed it all, has laid it bare for everybody to see. all the journalists, all the social media influencers, all the outlets, the independent outlets out there. All this was disruptive to the narrative. This turned things upside down. Nobody touched it. A mere handful of people wanted to touch it. I was supporting these folks in Gaza. I was helping them out. I was sending some of them money. I was giving them messaging advice. They asked me, what do we do? They asked me, mobilize support. You're in Washington. Go talk to policymakers. I went to Capitol Hill. I talked to folks. I was trying desperately to get the mainstream media attention. These guys are not only the true freedom fighters, but they also actually proved wrong the insane Hasbara.
I mean, this is just a fantastical delusion that this man has. Nothing that he's saying is true. So, I mean, to the grifter, everyone is doing a grift. That's what we're seeing here.
Pro-Israel people that said everybody in Gaza is a terrorist. Everybody in Gaza loves Hamas. Everybody in Gaza. By the way, these people have always been there. They just, as Hamas has been weakened and as Hamas has become just that much more fascistic, they've decided to come forth. And so to see the ladder of escalation, it started with total radio silence about the anti-Hamas protesters. And it was so funny to see the indirect union. Ethan, listen to this very carefully, my brother. The indirect union between the crazy pro-Palestine people and the insane and I'm putting pro-Palestine in quotes and pro-Israel in quotes, union between the pro-Palestine.
Why does he keep going like this? Why does he keep like being like the pro-Palestine and then the pro-Israel part? I'm starting to think this man is a confirmed bachelor, if you know what I mean.
Fraud, and the pro-Israel people who believe that everybody in Gaza is Hamas, everybody's a terrorist. And so both parties had an interest in diminishing, overlooking, undermining, or ignoring the anti-Hamas protesters in Gaza. And so it is the height of irony, the mother of all ironies, that is the only common ground they have managed to establish throughout the entirety of this war, is they were united against the innocent civilian people of Gaza who risked lives. Some of them are my friends. Very sick, very, very sick. But then focusing back on the pro-Palestine movement, then they took it a step further recently. And then we saw an actual overt attack against the actual true freedom fighters of Gaza, not the rapists and the murderers and the beheaders and the people who burn people alive and the attackers and the child kidnappers and the murderers and the evil Hamas guys. No. Those are not freedom fighters. Those are a bunch of guys with salaries. Those guys all have salaries. Being a Hamas terrorist is an actual salary, okay? No, the real freedom fighters who were literally protesting a terrorist ISIS-like fascistic organization while Israeli bombs were falling all around them, who were not getting paid for any of this, who were entirely organic.
He's trying to explain how brave it was to protest Hamas, but he can't just say that it's brave because Hamas was cracking down on the protests. It's brave because Gaza was getting bombed by Israeli bombs. What do you think the protests were about? They were about the bombs. They were about Israel blocking all food, water, electricity, and medical aid. What?
Those sentiments, they had to organically come from Gaza. And like I said, they've always been there. Some of the pro-Israel people were like, well, these people are only protesting now because of the consequences of the war. Total BS, total hogwash. These people, there's always been, societal, political, ideological, and religious opposition to Hamas in Gaza. It's just that now the group's behavior has just pushed people to the breaking point. So that's where
just nothing this person said has anything to do with reality whatsoever, and he's just constructed this fantasy world so that he can get paid by Zionist lobby groups.
How do we support people in Gaza who are, as you say, the real freedom fighters?
Well, we actually amplify the heck out of their actions and activities.
I mean, guys, let's just extend this logic. If you are a Palestinian and you protest Hamas, you're a freedom fighter. Thus, if you attack Hamas, you're a freedom fighter. Thus, what Israel is doing in Gaza is fighting for freedom. Killing Hamas is actually a worthy goal because it's Israel giving freedom to the Palestinian people. Israel's helping along that goal. Israel's goal is to get rid of Hamas. They're saying the goal of getting rid of Hamas is the true hero of this movement. So they're justifying Israel's actions. I mean, it's just simple enough as that. Just once again, they actually can't ever speak that into existence because in theory, they're against whatever Israel's doing. They're not actually against it. If you take their positions to just even one more step.
He exposed those who are opposing them, and literally, Ethan, just the reason why I was emphasizing the ironic unity, like shame the pro-Palestine people by telling them that you are in an indirect, because a lot of the pro-Israel people that follow me, because they love my anti-Hamas message, but they really are only interested in that. They're like, no, we don't believe them. These people are not insincere. This is takia. They only want to stop the bombing. They don't love the Jews. They don't. And I'm like, you guys are so stupid. There's a reason why a bunch.
If your position is that Hamas is what's caused all of this the entire time, don't then say that the pro-Israel people that follow me, I mean, you're giving the game away when you say you're followed by pro-Israel people, but if you're trying to say that Hamas is the cause of this, don't say that Israel's so racist that not even Israel, but the people that support Israel are so racist that they don't care about the people protesting Hamas and they just want them killed anyway. You should say that the pro-Israel people that follow me are enlightened and are like, yes, Hamas is the issue, thus we support the good Palestinians. Even though that's racist, that's still a better argument, that's a better propaganda talking point than being like, well, even the pro-Israeli people are super racist and they don't even like the ones that are, they don't even like the quote-unquote good Palestinians, the ones with potential. They don't even like them.
Misbehaving, college students on undergrads have been able to beat Hasbara and the pro-Israel advocacy movement, because there is just such a blob of messaging. When it's not a dynamic messaging, it doesn't humanize the Palestinian people. It doesn't acknowledge that the Palestinian people are diverse and not monolithic. Again, this is actually another point of convergence between the crazy pro-Israel and crazy pro-Palestine people. The Gaza society, Palestinians in Gaza, they're not monolithic in how they see Hamas. And in fact, there's, as you start open...
I mean, does this man know that he's talking to someone who blamed Palestinians for the Arab expulsion of Jews from Arab states? Or the Jewish expulsion from Arab states? I mean, Ethan said it was the Arabs that expelled Jews from Arab states, so... I don't know. I don't think Ethan would agree with you, dude.
At the beginning, I love how you open. There's totally a disconnect. And that's my raison d'etre. That's why I'm out there. That's why I deal with the threats, and I deal with the empanadas, and I deal with the Dalai Lamas, and I deal with the fools, and I deal with the attacks and whatever. Because the people of Gaza are what sustains me. The people of Gaza are what give me hope.
The ones with potential sustain it.
Folks who genuinely and sincerely make it worthwhile for me. And actually, I wanted to show you, I wanted to send you this tweet, and I hope you're able to.
Yeah, we can. Just send it to
put it.
Send it in the chat, and we can open it.
So I'm going to send you just two particular, two. This one here, I'm going to send it in the chat. This one is from a lady who is in Gaza. And then this one, so let's start with Noor, and you can do.
Ethan does not look happy.
But you can, the first one is in Arabic, and you can just do the Google Translate.
I'm pulling this up here, and you should probably be able to see it.
Post?
So it's in Arabic. You guys can see by someone named Noor, and I'm going to translate it.
There you go.
Unable to fetch. Oh. Why is he doing that? Well, I can just put it into Google Translate too.
Yes, put it in Google Translate.
Yeah, let me do that.
And yeah, that's weird because on Twitter itself, for me, it translated right.
Oh, here I got. Yeah, okay, thank you. So here's the translation. Would you like me to read it?
Yes, please. Yes, please.
So she says, I don't know if you received this information or not. We in Gaza hate anything called resistance and any resistance fighter. After this war, we guarantee you that there will be no form of resistance, even resistance songs. We will ban them. The peace that will be in Gaza will shock.
Oh my God.
We will produce generations that hate the marksmen and will step on the graves of Sinwar and the Daif.
Wow. Daif.
Wow.
Yes. So that is a sentiment that is so ubiquitous. That is so wide.
Holy. Obviously, that was posted in a desperate attempt to do anything to make Israel stop killing them, because they think, of course, there's going to be people that think that Hamas is the reason Israel's killing us, and any kind of resistance must be stamped out so that I can live my life. I mean, it's almost an example of Stockholm syndrome, where you're trying to do anything in your power so that the person with a gun to your head isn't going to pull the trigger. But unfortunately, that's not going to matter. I mean, this is the negative outcome of this grift, and it's the same that Ethan Klein does. They whinge and they moan and they blame the resistance for Israel's actions. Okay, let's get rid of the resistance. What do we get? We get thousands of Palestinians getting shot at because they're trying to get food.
But since we're in the show, let's show the other tweet, please. So Issa Amru is a super famous anti-occupation, anti-settlement guy in the West Bank. And at a time when all of these pro-Palestine people in the West are celebrating the murder, saying kill them all, your own and everybody who's related.
Isa Amro, the murder of any human being should not be justified nor celebrated by anyone. Send Ethan the tweets of people celebrating the murder
To Israel. Read what this guy, who's literally daily being attacked by soldiers and by settlers. Read what he said.
He said, the murder of any human being should not be justified nor celebrated by anyone.
And this guy is literally, if you go to his profile, just really quickly, you can do it on your own leisure, you can do it now or whatever. It is full of, he's an internationally recognized activist. And every day he gets terrorized by settlers who want to take over his house. And every day he gets attacked by them, the hilltop youth and the little ones and the big ones, and they're protected by the soldiers. And a few times the soldiers will come and push them away. Sometimes they'll beat him up. The soldiers will beat them up. The settlers, this guy has suffered so horrendously. And yet somehow, some way, he's able to be in the fulcrum of the military occupation of the Palestinian and the dehumanization. And I think the complete awful reality that some Palestinians in the West Bank face. And to say, guys, like, geez, like, what is wrong with you? Like all of these like Western-based people saying like, get him, kill those Zionist, representatives of the state, whatever. So that's
there's a video pinned on his profile today, February 13th. I was detained and beaten violently by an Israeli soldier in Hebron. I was showing the famous American writer Lawrence Wright, the Israeli occupation and apartheid in my hometown. This video is very disturbing. I don't know if you've seen it.
And that's literally
horrible.
all of his like wall.
So this guy manages still to be a true peace activist despite facing violence on a daily basis.
But also to like...
This is a video Ethan refused to play on his channel. They're celebrating this man for denouncing a murder of people that apparently people are celebrating, right? Grabs him by the throat, throws him down, kicks him.
Hey! Leave him!
Gets pulled off by other soldiers because he's just having a power trip and just sees him as a subhuman Palestinian that he can do whatever he wants to. You're posting this post that you think supports your point, but then you're not going to play the thing that directly undermines it?
When did we lose the ability to say random acts of violence are not okay? Random killings are not okay.
They need asterisks. Everything needs an asterisk, right?
Unless they're Zionists and unless they work for the Zionist regime and unless they're but that's what I'm saying is like, this is such a scary, imagine a situation where this becomes the actual norm, where political violence in the United States or in Europe or in the Western world, and this is why it is difficult for me and to like Realign for Palestine and my website, my organization, to draw out the Palestinian pragmatists and moderates. A lot of them, they have families. A lot of them have businesses. Some of them started writing things and then they start getting threats on like social media and they're like, oh, Ahmed, I'm sorry, I can't do this. Like, I have a wife, like, and again, like not everybody can acquire the means and the necessary tools to protect themselves, which I'm very, very well adept at using. And I'm not going to be afraid and I'm not going to, curl up.
Bro, what are you talking? Why are you talking about? Like, this is the second time he's mentioned the means that he has to protect himself. I've acquired the means to protect myself. See these hands? These hands are lethal weapons. They'll make guys just disappear like that. I get my hands on you, and you're done. You're just finished immediately. He's tough. I didn't realize he was tough.
These embassy staff is the same kind of political violence that the Hamasniks and the terrorists and the Muslim Brotherhood people, they want to normalize against people like myself for challenging Hamas's narrative. And the people who send you, skulls, human skulls, and that kind of garbage. Like this is the slippery slope that we're headed down.
I think those two people in DC would have preferred to get human skulls sent to them than what happened, like, obviously. I mean, the idea that they're comparing what happened to those people to Ethan Klein is doing them a huge disservice. Are you kidding me? Getting killed? You're comparing that to getting sent skulls? Insane.
Yeah, I'd love to see someone like Hassan talk to someone like that, but I just don't think that, again, it's not what's going to drive Twitch primes to him.
Well, so that's my question to you then is, do you think over the years, I mean, like, why is it that a streaming, but for the record, I'm not just...
This guy's so boring to listen to.
Your former colleague. I'm speaking generally.
Once you've like witnessed just the depravity that he is advocating for, it's not entertaining. It's all kind of the same stuff. Why do these fascists love that idea? I guess it's just anti-empiricism, and fascists don't like numbers. I mean, I guess it's just like that's his grift. And so he feels personally attacked if people that aren't Palestinian are talking about it, because he's like, well, I'm Palestinian. That's part of my grift. I need to maintain the stance that you have to be Palestinian to talk about it. Maria.
I'm supposed to care what a bunch of streamers and podcasters.
So I think there's like a whole vortex of bad things happening. One, people are super disillusioned with like the media, so that nobody wants to get their news from the media. That's where suckers get their news. Also, like, we're at a point in American society when capitalism is really not at its finest hour. There's huge disparities, and a lot of people feel helpless, right? And they feel they don't see positive outcomes coming in the status quo. And I think a lot of people, leftist ideology, socialism, communism, Marxism, whatever, is becoming popular. And in this worldview, it's very much, the worldview doesn't allow them to see complications. They'll look you in the face and say, what's happening in Israel is not complicated. Israel's the bad guy, Hamas is the good guys. And like, they're incapable of doing that, because in their worldview, there's the colonizer and there's the colonized. And it's up to the colonizers, the colonized.
If Israel just stopped bombing and they stopped sieging Gaza, do you think that would be better, or do you think that would be worse? Right? Like, or do you think it would be no change? Because if the answer is like, if Israel just stopped doing what they're doing, things would get better, then it's not a complicated situation. Israel is unequivocally bad, and it should stop.
They become the thought leaders to the proletariat, and it's almost like a sick joke. It's true.
Okay. This. I honestly don't care. Yeah, sure. Don't donate to him, because it is charity fraud. Like, it's just going to his own organization.